While many of the lessons in Know Your Value are still relevant, like communicating what you bring to the table effectively to get paid what you're worth and advocating for yourself in the moment, there are lessons that need to be added for women in their early stages of their careers. In some ways, younger women have more going for them than I did in my 20s. The workplace is ripe with opportunity for women to succeed and get ahead. They are entering male-dominated fields in greater numbers than ever before, although some fields show greater progress than others. Yet young women still face a familiar set of challenges. In addition to gender bias that's an everyday occurrence in the corporate world, they are often dismissed because of their youth. Millennial women in particular get a bad rep, accused of being part of a generation that is distracted, entitled, and lazy. They're encouraged to present themselves as self-assured and ambitious, but not overly aggressive, which would make them less likable, and God forbid a woman is labeled as difficult. These are contradictory messages for women who are entering the workplace and don't understand the office environment. And then there are our own tendencies as women to overthink situations and take things personally. An incident involving my former assistant brought the stereotype into sharp focus for me. Sitting in my office during a half-hour break from co-hosting Morning Joe, I scarfed down some oatmeal and fruit before getting ready for a short interview. Even eating is a scheduled part of my morning. That particular day was otherwise swamped with meetings, conference calls, and evening events. Andre Leon Talley, the well-known fashion editor, had graciously agreed to stop by my office early that morning for a recorded interview to be used in my 2015 book, Grow Your Value. A friend and frequent contributor to my Know Your Value conferences and books, Andre always offers honest advice on how to get ahead in the workplace. Emily, my then assistant, was assigned to coordinate the interview with Andre and to assist me at my scheduled events for the rest of the day. The plan was for me to do the interview with Andre, go back and finish the show, and then leave with Emily for Philadelphia, where I was to deliver an 11:30 a.m. speech in front of 500 women on the topic of equal pay. The timing was tight, as usual. We all had to keep moving and make it work. For the people who assist me, there is little room for error. I lean heavily on efficient assistants like Emily to help keep the details of my life and work on track. In our early days together, she worked primarily out of my home office, a much more relaxed and casual setup than the Morning Joe offices in Manhattan. I'm usually in sweats at home, so I suggested to Emily that she should feel free to dress casually. I had also forewarned her that the culture at the Rockefeller Center office would be different. On the days we were in the city, she'd have to look professional. But I left it up to Emily to figure out that balance between professionalism and comfort. I didn't think to give her clear guidelines. The Andre Leon Talley interview took place during one of her first work days at 30 Rock. He arrived in my office that day draped in a gorgeous maroon cape with Emily in tow. As we sat down, I saw Andre's brow furrow. He looked uncomfortable. He was watching Emily as she zipped from one side of the room to the other, setting up the interview. I could tell something about my assistant didn't sit well with him. Emily had come in on a pair of 4-inch heels I had given her a long time ago. Heels I decided were ridiculously high on me, but might be fun for a young person to wear on a night out, or even on a date. That day she wore them in the office, along with a flashy dress. Her hair, usually up in a ponytail, was blown out to full volume. The interview room was very small. I realized that Emily, with her perfume, her hair, her high heels, and her movements, seemed to take up the whole room. She kept interrupting us inadvertently by moving animatedly across the room, wearing a smile from ear to ear, her heels clicking from one side to the other. Once or twice she reached in between Andre and me. She didn't have much sense of personal space. I finally told her Andre and I could do the interview alone. She had set herself up right beside us, as if the meeting were between the three of us. I'm sure she thought by staying in the room she was being helpful. But when you're working as an assistant and a high-level person comes in, less is more.